Okay, so we could talk about the type of food that that animals eat, right? Animals have to eat. They are heterotrophs. So when we talk about our diets, we've already mentioned some organisms that are carnivorous, for example. So carnivorous means that they eat other animals. Okay, cnidarians. They have stinging cells. They are carnivorous. Spiders, those are all carnivorous. We can even look at some carnivorous insects like the ladybug. The reason why you want ladybugs around your yard is that they eat aphids, right? So carnivory is not just in mammals, it's in other organisms as well. We can also talk about those organisms that are herbivorous. So this means that they eat plants. And some of those organisms that eat plants have very unique digestive systems that allow them to eat plants. So for example, we will talk about, but not in this lecture, but we'll talk about ruminants and how ruminants have multiple stomachs, one of which is the rumen, which is actually a fermentation chamber, and that allows them to break down cellulose because they have acquired the bacteria in their rumen that allows them to digest grass, which is like super good in terms of like the evolution of animals. You know, when you could actually digest and eat and get nutrients from grasses, that was a big evolutionary step, okay? So herbivory, okay. We could also talk about organisms that are omnivorous. Okay. And so those would be that eat both plants and animals. So generally we consider ourselves as omnivorous, right? Humans are generally that. And then when we think about, like, for example, crayfish can eat algae, but they can also eat other insects that, or larvae, for example. So they would also be examples of omnivores. So let's talk about it in terms of mammals only. So when we talk about mammals, we talk about their dentition. And so we can talk about the dentition of other vertebrates as being homodont versus heterodont dentition. Homodont means that the teeth are all the same. Teeth are all the same. Homo, same, dont, teeth, right? Teeth all the same. So if you think about a crocodile's teeth or alligator's teeth or fish teeth, right? Or even reptiles, they tend to have all the same teeth. And what their teeth are designed for are catching prey. It's like biting, right? It's not chewing. When you look at a snake, they just open their jaw wide enough. They catch their prey. They have maybe one special tooth, which is a venomous fang, right? But they then just swallow the whole organism whole. And it might take them a long time to actually digest that organism that they just swallowed whole. So that is very different than heterodont, where you have specialization. So you have specialized teeth. So we, for example, have specialized teeth. We have incisors, which are your front teeth. If you're thinking about incisors, that's probably not where you would try to chew a piece of beef jerky. That would be very hard, right? Even if I was like chewing a carrot, I might bite a carrot with it, but if I had to chew the carrot up in little pieces just using my front teeth, that would take forever, right? So these are for clipping. Okay. We have canines. This is for ripping. Right. So I might use my canine if I'm looking at a piece of meat. I might try to rip the piece of meat with my canine, right? If I'm talking about grinding, then that would be my molars. So this is for grinding. right? So what this allows for is more efficient mechanical digestion. We only see heterodont dentition in mammals. So this would be mammals, and it is related to endothermy. How is it related to endothermy? Because we have to use energy from our metabolism to fuel and to regulate our body temperature. So we have to be much more efficient at digestion. So this is creating an efficient chewing it into small pieces so we can digest it fast and it can get through our digestive system fast. We can extract the energy and nutrients really quickly. So if we look at the dentition of some species, we can see that this would be like a dog, right? Incisors, canines, their molars are kind of pathetic. When I watch my cat try to chew crunchies, I'm like, are you even chewing them? Because she just like, I think she just swallows it whole. Yeah. So it's hard for them to chew the food that we give them. Those crunchies, those are kind of need to be ground down. And look at their teeth. Is that designed for that? Probably not. If you look at, say, for example, deer, they are herbivores, and look at, they don't even have canines. They have this like remnant of a canine, but then they have this like this space. This is very characteristic of herbivores. So they have clippers and then they have grinders. And so that difference between canines and herbivores is quite distinctive. We see it in all kinds of different mammals.